Hi, I'm Dr. Lana Denny, Bulletproof Babes, self-defense based on behavioral sciences. And I'm sharing self-defense secrets for people who will never take a martial arts class because maybe you don't have the time, the energy, or maybe the athleticism to pull off those moves. And don't feel bad, there's a lot of people, especially women, who will fall into that category. Now look, there's two types of attacks, right? An attack from a stranger and an attack from someone who is known to you. Now, when I teach self-defense seminars, almost all the women picture an attack from a stranger, unless they work in the mental health field or they have a background in criminal justice, because they know the reality of attacks against women are perpetrated by a person she already knows. The numbers don't lie. 75% of all murders, the woman knew her attacker. 3 out of 5 sexual assaults are the woman knew her attacker. And that number goes up to 9 out of 10 for college-age women. So today, we're gonna focus on the attack from someone you know and how that plays out, how to prevent it, and so that's never you. And if you tend to be a really trusting person or someone who considers themselves to be a nice person, this is especially for you. I'm not a nice person. I'm a kind person, and there's a difference. If you go out for lunch with your girlfriend and at the end of the lunch when it's time to leave, you can see she has a big piece of spinach stuck in her teeth, a nice person will say nothing. You don't want a chance embarrassing your friend or having to take the chance that she might get mad at you for saying something. But a kind person will say, hey, you might want to hit the restroom and check your teeth before you go back to work. And that's the difference. Stop being nice, because nice equals weak. And it's a thing bad guys look for before trying to make their way into your life. Women who have strong personalities, great boundaries, and high self-esteem don't attract the bad guys. That's just the simple truth. Okay, so you're not in that category. Don't feel bad. In my experience, the majority of women or men are not going to fall in that category at some point in their lives, if ever, especially when they're young. So, okay, what can you do? Here's the 3 simple rules to follow. Number 1, if a guy tests your boundaries in some way, that's a huge red flag. Even something small like looking in your purse or continuing in a conversation that you are obviously uncomfortable with or you haven't agreed to. Like my friend, she on a dating profile, it specifically says in her dating profile on the app that she's not into explicit sexual talk. And, after conversing with this guy for a little bit online, texting back and forth, he starts going down that road. And she said, hey, man, it's in my profile. I don't like to talk that way. We don't even know each other yet. And he kind of proceeded, to try to go down that road. No, she immediately deleted him, right? Which she should. Or the guy's not hearing your no, like you said that you didn't want another drink, but he orders another one for you. So those things are huge red flags. Number 2, using manipulation techniques like reciprocity. I've spent money on you, now you owe me physical contact. That's an example of reciprocity as a manipulation technique. Or empathy. They're telling you a sob story way too early in the relationship or the friendship. Trying to invoke empathy, or typecasting, which is projecting like you're the type of girl who would never go out with a guy who makes less than 6 figures. Trying to get you to be like, oh yeah, I would. I'm not that kind of girl, right? So if you recognize any of these manipulation techniques, run. And number 3, and here's really the most important one, and it so boils down to this. Think twice before you're alone with a guy or in a confined space like a car. How well do you really know this guy? And most women don't think they're going to be assaulted. You may think the guy's a friend, but you don't know what's going on in that guy's head. And here's a horrifying truth. A study found that 1 in 3 college-age men said that they would force sex if there were a guarantee of no consequences. But far fewer admitted they'd do the same thing when it was labeled as rape. That tells you something about denial and self-justification. And I'm going to put the citation for that study in the comments because that's profound and eye-opening. And I don't want you to have to take my word for it. You can look up the study yourself. It was done in America, mostly white men, college age. And a few years back, I had a patient tell me about getting raped, and it changed her life. And she was at a Christmas party at her work, and people were drinking heavy, right? I think we've all been there at some point in time. And she left with a male coworker who she considered her friend, and that she had known this guy for like a couple years. They'd worked in the same office. And he talked her into one more drink at his house, and he ended up raping her. And that turned her life upside down. And not only did she misread his intentions, but alcohol also played a big part in that lapse of judgment on her part as well as his part, I'm sure. And hey, I don't want that to ever be you. So if you see yourself in this video, check out our website at BulletProofBabes.net and let me know if I can be of service to you. I hope that helps, and I'll see you soon.